20.
At 20, I have the sophomore release from Russian symphonic metal band Sanctorium. This album, Tessellation of the Universe, features well-crafted songs and outstanding singing from Darya Ariane Zhukova. Eastern Europe is an underappreciated hotbed of metal, and Sanctorium are one of the best from that area.
Oh, my God, dude. Listen, through your whole freaking list, man, you have these bands that sound it's just like one hodgepodge of music. And I'm not sure how you can call this metal because I don't know how you tell it's metal.
19.
At 19 is Suffocation, their newest offering of the Dark Light. Brutal technical death metal band at Suffocation are back again this year. They have out-of-this-world riffing combined with insanely demented lyrics, arguably their best release since Despise the Sun.
18.
I was really impressed by this album, Pheonix Aflame, by Arizona-based Insatia. And I thought the writing and composition was a real step up from their 2013 debut, Asylum Denied. There's some great songs here, including Sacred and the title track. Awesome power metal sound with great musicianship. Unfortunately, as all too often happens, this band has since split up, leaving us with a couple of solid metal albums to remember them by.
17.
At 17, Labyrinth's Architecture of a God. This might not be Return to Heaven Denied, but Labyrinth bring heaviness and progressive power together in ways here that truly impress. Skill, technicality, and beauty, keyboards and vocals dueling with the guitars. If you are a fan of true power metal like Fate's Warning, Freedom Call, and Dream Theater, you need to add Labyrinth's Architecture of a God to your collection.
Yeah, well, I would argue your definition of true power metal, but this is not a bad pick.
16.
Brutal technical death metalers Origin returned this year with Unparalleled Universe, my 16th pick. As always, this band brings such strong musicianship and a live performance that is insane. Great production sound and just pure furious hatred spewed forth through incredible leads and utmost technical drum work.
15.
At 15, I have Arch Enemy, Will to Power. Never count out Arch Enemy, always flying the black flags of melodic death metal. Maybe not as strong as War Eternal, but their latest released Will to Power is still a solid offering, including allowing vocalist Elisa White-Gloves to occasionally show off her excellent clean vocals. The songs, though, are at their best where Jeff Loomis is permitted to showcase his lead skills. Will to Power is certainly a return to power for Arch Enemy.
14.
You always know what you're going to get with Goatwhore, blackened death metal with a hint of thrash. But on Vengeful Ascension, my number 14 album for the year, Goatwhore departed from their longtime producer and have changed up their sound in some subtle ways that I find exciting. There's a lot of depth on these songs, and the music gives even more support to Ben Valgoth's terrifying lyrical disgorge. Ben's growls come with grit and ferocity, and the music is even more powerful than ever. Check out Vengeful Ascension by Goatwhore.
Listen, man, I freaking love this album, man. I mean, this band knows how to metal. Great pick for you. It almost made my honorable mention, but I didn't want to load it up too much and seem like I was just being gratuitous.
13.
Metal entrepreneurs Once Human return with their sophomore offering, Evolution, my 13th best album of the year. This album truly is an evolution from their earlier work, with better overall musicianship and more persuasive songs. Lauren Hart's vocals remain brutal throughout, layering a crescendo of anger above the monolithic riffs. On Evolution, Once Human provide a solid brand of mellow death that is well worth checking out.
12.
Dyscarnate's With All Their Might is my 12th best album of 2017. I had not heard of this British metal collective until I saw them perform live on the 2017 Bloodletting tour. And then you see these short-haired, almost GQ-looking guys come on the stage, and I'm thinking, maybe I should skip this set. Holy moly. Dyscarnate are absolute badasses. And their third full-length, With All Their Might, is an adventurous and emotionally rich death metal album. This is a gem that deserves much recognition and acclaim.
11.
Number 11 is Amain by Finnish power Viking folk metalers Crimfall. Crimfall have been around for a few years now, and their latest release continues their ascent. Mikko Halakonen and Helena Haparanta are a great counterbalance, contrasting soaring operatic singing with growls as well as any vocal duo. But what makes this album is the outstanding song composition and the excellent orchestrations, which blend seamlessly into the metal guise. Add Crimfall to my bucket list of bands that I must see live.
10,
Exuvia by The Ruins of Beverast is my pick for the 10th best album of the year. I received the promo for this album in an email and completely passed it over, because honestly, I'm just not usually into one-man productions. But when I finally took the time to listen, wow, I was blown away. The incorporation of Native American musical elements is done with stunning effectiveness. Most musicians trying to integrate these sounds into the black metal context would surely crash and burn in the attempt. In contrast, this album soars with complex and diverse songs that capture a variety of atmospheres. I really encourage fans of progressive black metal to check out this album, Exuvia.
Dude, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not kidding, man. You should really be ashamed of yourself for including this album in your list. Your metal gets more and more fucked up as we go along. I can't tell where one sound ends and one begins. It's like ambient noise. I turned on the TV on a fuzzy station, and it sounded the same as this album, dude. I have no idea how you call this metal.
9,
For my 9th album of 2017, I choose South Carolinian death metalers Your Chance to Die and their album Ex Nihilo. Ex Nihilo is the first Your Chance to Die album to feature their twin growl attack, pairing long-standing vocalist Missy Avila and the addition of ex-Cerebral Bore frontperson Psalm Flojimmers. Their combined tortured vocal aesthetics is a joy to listen to, and the attuned listener can really differentiate which frontperson is singing which part. The band has moved more toward technical death metal from their earlier efforts, and includes some atmospheric shading on Ex Nihilo that complements extreme cordage. A killer album by a killer band.
8,
Andorran outfit Persefone with Aathma. Man, I really find Persephone's brand of progressive melodic death metal to be persuasive music. This album is replete with cascading melodic instrumentation, augmented with a balanced blend of harsh and clean vocals. All the instruments flow right and work like a well-oiled machine. Aathma represents over an hour of unadulterated metal euphoria. I already have my ticket to see this act in the coming year, and I will definitely be down at the barrier for the experience.
7,
Folk metal with a dollop of black metal influence throughout. Quebec act Valfreya return after almost 5 years with Promised Land, my 7th best metal album of the year. Although folk metal is definitely the dominant structure, Valfreya are certainly no mere Corpiclani clones. This album has an amazing variety of sounds, and you'll find yourself surprised with each new genre-splicing composition. Singer Crook's black metal shrieking is otherworldly, and her cleans are similarly impressive. You can hear the band maturing with this music, one of the best albums of 2017.
6,
Immolation have been delivering death metal since the 90s, and with their newest album, Atonement, again providing dark and ominous riffing from the twin guitars, as has become the trademark. Tunes like Thrown to the Fire, Fostering the Divide, and the title track are meaty slabs of metal that are gripping and memorable. The vocals are powerful and abrasive on every song, spewing nihilistic lyrics appropriate to the accompanying score. Atonement is definitely a classic death metal album that should be added to any metalhead's collection.
5,
For my 5th best metal album of 2017, I have Aussie Progressive Death Metal League, Obliviscaris. These metal maestros create an amalgam of music that is admittedly difficult to describe stylistically. That's not typically the recipe that excites me, but I find with Urn that Obliviscaris is able to pull off the con with adept. There's plenty of chugging chords and bold guitars here, but for my money, the superbly situated violins are what put this over the top from another proggy death metal act. The clean vocal lines are well executed, and the overall balance becomes more alluring with every listen. No list of best metal albums of this year will be complete without Urn.
4,
Artificial Brain with Infrared Horizon. I had the opportunity to meet these guys and see them perform last year, and I was absolutely hooked. And with the release of Infrared Horizon, Artificial Brain has taken it up a notch. This album is full of jumbled grooves and hypnotic melodies fused to form first-rate songs. Guitarist Dan Gargiulo, better known from his work in Revocation, provides a potent mix of technical death metal riffs that flow seamlessly into the Byzantine atmosphere the band has created. And growler Will Smith effectively infuses each track with raw, gurgly goodness frothing over the music. Infrared Horizon is a classic example of dissonant death metal done right.
3,
I've been a fan of Montreal's Karkaos since their debut EP in Burning Skies in 2011. The band has gone through many transformations since then, but their latest release, Children of the Void, certainly represents their best work yet. Vicky Boyer's throaty growls and solid singing is a welcome addition, as is new drummer Justine Etier's dynamic percussion. But the hallmark of this band is how they effectively employ keyboards to conjure atmospheric symphonies that interplay deftly with the catchy guitar work. A lively neck-breaker of an album, Children of the Void provides an onslaught of melodic death metal madness in your ears from the beginning to end.
2,
Western Canadian technical death metalers Archspire returned this year with one of their strongest offerings ever, Relentless Mutation. These extreme metal masterminds have never been ones to take the easy path, but they have outdone themselves with this release. Tracks like Human Murmuration and The Mimic Well all display equal parts subtlety and shredding. Relentless Mutation keeps the listener guessing throughout the schizophrenic change-ups and unpredictable rhythms, yet the technicality of the music never feels forced. My single quibble with this album is that at just over 30 minutes, it isn't much more than an EP in length, and so the listener is definitely left wanting more. But the songs are so captivating, the music's so good, Archspire has provided a can't miss with Relentless Mutation. Stay tech!
This is kick-ass, cutting-edge death metal. It's inventive and not afraid to show it. It's technically stunning, very engaging, definitely one of your best picks.
1,
There's nothing more exciting than discovering young, new musicians who bring forth fresh, innovative perspective to music. That's 7 Spires. This act composed of amazing young artists from Berklee School of Music who produced my #1 album for 2017, Solveig. These kids are masters of creating recurring compositional themes that just get stronger and more prevalent over the course of the album. Sasha Payeth, known for working with metal juggernauts like Epica, Camelot, and Rhapsody of Fire, was the producer on this one, and you can feel his experienced hand lightly shaping the work of these young, raw, musical geniuses. Adrian Cowan's voice is outstanding, smart singing punctuated by black metal shrieks, and guitarist Jack Costo is brilliant with his guitar work. Every track has its own special chemistry and feel. They are all compelling songs forged into an epic story arc. One of the most exciting metal albums to grace my ears in a long time. This band was at Prog Power USA this year, and I'm so hoping to have a chance to catch them live in 2018.